What is up, guys? Welcome back to the 40K Cafe, and today we're going to be going over the childhood of the Primarch of the 16th Legion, the arch-traitor himself, Horus Lupercal. Horus would have his gestation pod teleported due to the ruinous powers onto the mining world known as Chthoniya. As I've said prior in the past to many of the other Primarchs, a lot of the early childhood of many Primarchs isn't depicted very well or accurately. That is somewhat true for Horus Lupercal, but there is actually just many contradictions to his early childhood, seeing as he is the arch-traitor, so you will have many contradicting articles referring to him. Now, at the very least, what we can say is true is that Horus did thrive on Chthoniya. He was taught the lessons of war, murder, and many other things by the Chthonian gangs that inhabited the world. Although Chthoniya was referenced to be a mining world, unfortunately many of its natural resources were already plundered, seeing as during humanity's expansion into the stars, it was one of the first to be conquered, therefore one of the first to be pillaged for all of its riches. So when Horus would grow up in these Chthonian gangs, he would eventually become one of the leaders, thriving amongst the environment and ruling over its populace. That is just one of the theories. For the other theory states that Horus actually ended up arriving on Terra himself. Some articles and documents state that Horus grew up alongside the Emperor and would learn from his gene father. And at the very least, other articles would state that Horus would just be the first to be found by the Emperor, being able to reside alongside his father the longest and growing alongside his shadow. But the very basics of it is that the truth of Horus's upbringings and origins would truly never be known, as it is technically lost through time. All that we do know is that the Emperor and Horus did have a very close relationship upon his finding. In fact, they spent many years together, and the Emperor did in fact teach him. Whether it was before maturity or after is yet to be known. Regarding Chthoniya and the people that live there, we do know that the Lunar Wolves were heavily bolstered by the Chthonians. For although the planet didn't have many resources, it didn't lack a populace to use. And the Imperium is all about valuing humans as living resources, being able to bolster the Astartes ranks even further. Once Horus was placed in command of the Lunar Wolves, he would end up going and fighting alongside the Emperor for 30 standard Terran years, longer than any other of the Primarchs. It is said that although Horus, when meeting and finding the other Primarchs, would come to find great joy in this, knowing that he would find others of his kin, he would swear to himself, and reminding himself, that he would still be the Emperor's favorite son. That being said, though, Horus was excellent at making sure that his brothers got along, even if they were the most unlikely of companions, such as Perturabo and Dorn. Horus would excel in making sure that they blended well and worked together. After many of the brothers were discovered and all the Primarchs united, the Emperor, Horus, and a few others would wage war on the Orc Empire, led by the Overlord, Erlak Uruk. This would be known as the Olenor Crusade. At the time, this would be known to be the largest cluster and gathered force of greenskins to ever be defeated by the Imperium. After the victory, this would be the beginning of Horus's ascent to War Master, for the Emperor would call upon his sons, gather them in a place, or at least all that were able to attend, and select Horus to become the War Master and lead the Imperium in his place, while the Emperor would continue to conduct his secret research. And there you have it, the somewhat adolescence of Horus's childhood. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what you want to hear next, and follow for more.